Houston. You are watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, America, you have spoken. And we've put it on the air. It's Best Damn's Top 50 Fan Bloopers. And Friday, special guest host, Super Bowl champion Michael Strahan. Has the Stray Train finally pulled into the station for good, or will he be back to defend his Super Bowl crown? This week at 11.
This spring on Fox College Sports, catch over 90 NCAA baseball games and exclusive live coverage of Big 12 baseball. Plus spring football from the SEC, the Pac-10, and the Big 12. And all the day's highlights on FCS Final Score. To get FCS, call 877-2GET-FCS or log on to foxcollegesports.com.
We are looking for those heroes on this Sunday here in College Station, and right now they're a bunch of offensive heroes in this one between Illinois, Chicago, and Houston. We go to the third, and we've got a new pitcher for the UIC Flames. It's Derek Miramontes.
Miramontes 6-2 on the year, a right-hander, 3.86 ERA. 18 appearances, 13 starts. This will be his 19th appearance, 3 complete games.
And he is facing Ryan Lorman to start his outing off. Stretching out to bring that one in is Brett Schaefer, the first baseman, and Lorman is an out.
Nice play there by Garcia there at shortstop. Wheeling, good strong throw at first base. Good stretch. Schaefer, the first baseman. Closed the book on Grant Kolstad for UIC. 2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 6 runs, all 6 earned. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts through 53 pitches. Might keep that in mind in the event that they advance later this evening and tomorrow. Breaking pitch strike.
The big blow against Kolstad was from Brian Pounds. He had a 3-run homer off of him in the last inning. It staked U of H to a 6-2 lead. Illinois Chicago has since come back, made it 6-5. Diving catch in center field. He will make it. It is Steve McQuiggan. And he's got a check on the sunglasses after that. Took our second base umpire a little time to get out there. Dennis McComb did make the call. What a catch.
See this drive out in the shallow center, lays out, grabs the ball as the sunglasses pop off his face, but umpire Dennis McComb in good position makes the out call, and there's 2 away here in the top of the third.
Now Brian Tully.
Olympic moment type effort. Defensive effort. Tully walked his first at bat and came around to score in the second inning.
Strike by Miramontes. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Had the opportunity to meet Tully's father, an outstanding gentleman, businessman down in Houston.
Now 1-2.
Enjoyable thing about the game of baseball, especially the high school, collegiate level, get to interact a lot. Some of these ballparks, high school, a little cozy confines, get to know some folks.
It's a sparse crowd here this afternoon We expect the opposite when Texas A&M plays for the regional title tonight.
And they're all in the shade here this afternoon.
Scooted up.
Or you have a lot of sunblock on.
2-2 to Tully, and he struck him out. So Miramontes comes into the game. He's fired up. He just got the side in order. It is 6-5, Houston. You are watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net. Welcome back to College Station, home of the Texas A&M Aggies. It is they who are hosting this regional. And right now we've got action between Houston and Illinois Chicago in an elimination game. We saw 11 runs posted combined over the first 2 innings, but a moment ago, Derek Miramontes in relief just got the U of H team 3 up and 3 down. And now it's Brett Schaefer lead it off for the Flames in the bottom of number 3.
Catch up with the breaking pitch there. Strike 1.
Schaefer an RBI on a ground out his first time up. It was his 61st run driven in this year.
Mentioned Texas A&M serving as host, and you earned that right by your play on the diamond. Let's see this pitch here.
That's right.
But to have the facilities and the support of the administration in order to host the regional, and then one of the benefits, I would imagine a great deal of the Aggies may be down in that players' lounge flipping between this ball game and that softball College World Series, but at least you're out of the elements, able to enjoy things, sleep in your own bed. Just a lot of familiarity to this regional for the Aggies.
Hard hit line drive caught by Ryan Lamard. Schaefer is an out.
Just inside out swing, line drive right at the second baseman. 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Here's Kevin Coddington. Singled his first time up. Both teams got a pair of runs in the first. Houston tacked on 4 in the second, then UIC came right back to get 3. Got us at 6-5.
You mentioned UIC's regional appearances. This is the 18th overall regional appearance by the Cougars. Their last came in 06 up at Norman. 0-2. Foul ball here. Back at you. But in 2003, regional here in College Station, they lost the opening game to Alabama, and then reeled off 4 straight wins, beating Oral Roberts, beating Alabama in a rematch, and then taking 2 in a row 1-run ball games against Texas A&M the same day.
They would love a repeat performance in College Station 5 years later. 0-2 is outside. Those 2 wins over the Aggies in the championship round were both 1-run ball games in which the Aggies had the lead late in those contests.
Houston came back, I believe 2 runs in the 8th and 2 runs in the 9th in the final championship game, and then pushed across the unearned run in the 10th inning to win the regional and advance to a super regional at Reckling Park, where they managed to win the first game against Rice before the Owls came back to win 2 straight. In 2003, were the Owls the national title winners that year?
Either 03 or 02. I think 03 is correct.
But just interesting, the makeup of the regional pairings this year with ball clubs from the University of Houston, Rice, Texas A&M, Sam Houston State, Texas, matched up. Only one of these ball clubs are going to go and make it to Omaha, with some quality ball clubs.
8 teams from the state of Texas got in to the postseason field. California was the only state with more. They placed 10.
Pretty good baseball in the states of California, Texas, and Florida. Not bad in the Carolinas as well.
They've got a lot of teams in, you're right. Over there in ACC country, they've got 3 of the top 4 national seeds. Call strike 3 for Kevin Coddington.
Tully matching Miramontes. After Miramontes retired, Cougars in order. Tully bounces out and gets the first 2 batters out here in the bottom of the third.
You know, it's interesting that, when a team goes through the lineup the first time, sometimes they're almost feeling out and getting to know the opposing pitcher. Well, Illinois Chicago put up 5 runs the first time they went through the lineup against Tully. But now, since McQuiggan came up back in the second to get them going the second time around, they're 0 for 5. No base hits.
No base hits, but
actually 0 for 4 with a sacrifice, but nonetheless.
Right. It's the game of adjustments. Pitchers have to make adjustments. Batters have to make adjustments. And who is willing to make those adjustments in order to be successful? In some cases, pitcher may be getting into a little bit of a rhythm that he needs to shake it up a little, keep those batters off balance. Some pitchers, and Tully may be one of those, that need to work up a little bit of a sweat. If you're not used to starting a lot of ball games, you're used to coming maybe in from your position to relief as a relief pitcher, but there's no doubt with temperatures in the low 90s today that you can work up a lather pretty quick.
Rafael Garcia's got a 3-1 count on him, trying to become a 2-out base runner.
Fastball.
Tully has come back out with him, at him. Got the count to go full. Three and 2 with 2 outs. Tully works. Ground ball played by Pounds. That's the inning. After a lot of thunder in the first 2 innings, neither team gets anything across in the third. It's 6-5 Houston. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net. It is Chris Wallace, Caleb Ramsey, and Blake Kelso this inning for Houston, 8-9-1. Pitching has started to settle down in this game. You get a look at Derek Miramontes. He just worked his first inning back in the third and went 1-2-3 through the Cougars. Grant Kolstad started for UIC today. Gave up 6 runs in 2 innings. Miramontes starts Wallace off with a strike, and Wallace laid down a sacrifice bunt in his first at bat.
Good fastball in on the hands. Wallace fights it off. Miramontes, 93 in the third innings pitched, 102 hits, 23 walks in those 93 innings, and 45 strikeouts. So, a guy that usually lets his defense play behind him.
2 is stung into center field, heading back on the track. That ball is gone. A home run by Chris Wallace. 7-5 U of H. First of the year.
Just a fastball, looks like, left out over the plate. Good extension. You see it almost letter high, and he just drives it straight away, 400 feet, center field. Notice that batter's eye, the wall is actually back beyond the 400-foot fence. And he deposited his first home run of the year.
Cougar advantage is now 2 runs. It's 7-5. Caleb Ramsey now. Singled on the infield back in the 2nd inning. Later came home to score.
See good adjustment here by the Flame defense. Third baseman in even with the bag. Shortstop a couple of steps in from his position in order to make sure to get the speedy Caleb Ramsey.
Yeah, that infield single he had a little while ago, it just didn't seem like Rafael Garcia charged the ball that well, and him getting out of that left-handed box quickly. And now you see the adjustments made by UIC.
Second baseman about a step back on the right field grass. First baseman deep there at first. Outfield pretty much straight away.
Lifted that one into left. Jake Carr calling for it, and he has it. 1 down.
Just fastball on the outer part of the plate, keeping it away from him, and lifts it out to left field.
That home run a moment ago by Chris Wallace. The first run of the day for the Cougars that didn't come with 2 outs. Top of the order now, and Blake Kelso, he has struck out twice. Now he's got a base hit. He's 1 for 3. Runner aboard for the Cougars with 1 out in the top of number 4.
Mentioned the UH lineup. Pretty strong up and down that order, and Kelso bounces back, just goes down, drives it in the hole between short and third. 1 out single, and Kelso is on at first base. Pretty good speed as well, 19 of 26 in the stolen base department. Brings up Jake Stewart.
Stewart 1 for 2, an RBI. He's got 51 on the year. Kelso, a threat to steal every time he's on base. 19 out of 26 this season.
Armadas makes a move just to keep him close. Glances over his shoulder. Breaking pitch, strike. Start off Stewart.
After Stewart, it's Brian Pounds, who thus far has the biggest hit of the game, a 3-run shot back in the 2nd. The 0-1. Call strike 2.
Another off-speed pitch. Breaking pitch just on the outer half and down, but the key thing, keeping that ball low in the strike zone, because if you leave it up, it's going to get lifted out of here today.
Checking on Kelso, as they should. Two is fouled off.
Another breaking pitch. Score in Oklahoma City. University of Florida is ranked number 1 for a reason, and in the bottom of the 5th leads Texas A&M 4-1 softball.
If the Gators hang on, the Aggies in Florida will have to play again tonight to decide who heads to that national championship round in the Women's College World Series. Ground ball, could be 2, although bobbled. It's 6-4-3, and they got him. Garcia to Leonard to Schaefer. The Cougars get one across in the fourth. They lead 7-5. You are watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional, and it's on Fox Sports Net. Seven to 5, U of H leads as we go to the bottom of number 4 from College Station. Is it the final day of this regional? The two teams playing here hope not. Either the Cougars or the Flames, if they win here, they have to beat Texas A&M tonight, and then they've got to do it again tomorrow if they want to get to the Supers.
All about survival, just taking it a game at a time. And just the opportunity. Both these ball clubs survived yesterday. UIC surviving.
Smarter and sleeker with real-time turn-by-turn GPS navigation. It has the intelligence you require with the beauty you desire. The BlackBerry Curve from AT&T. Come to our smartphone sale and get the Curve for $99.99 only for a limited time. AT&T, your world delivered.
Start your weekend in the great outdoors with the Academy Outdoors Show this Saturday morning. Host Chad Brower brings you a multitude of exciting outdoor adventures from throughout the region. You won't want to miss a single minute of this award-winning show for the whole family to enjoy, featuring a variety of live-action hunting, fishing, and outdoor adventure trips each week. Right here, Saturday mornings at 8:30 on FSN Southwest. Of the Big 12 Conference is on Big 12 Showcase. Only Big 12 Showcase takes you on location every week for unparalleled coverage of all the athletic programs from across the conference. From the latest news and highlights to exclusive features and...
I apologize for some of the technical difficulties we were having during the fourth inning. Illinois Chicago in the bottom of number 4. They went hitless, went down in order, did not get a run, so you didn't miss much. And the Cougars remain in the lead, 7-5, as we go to the fifth here in College Station.
7 runs, 7 hits, no errors by the Cougars. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors by the Flames of UIC. We go to the top of the fifth.
Be led off by Brian Pounds, who has the biggest hit of this ball game, a 3-run homer back in the second. First offering to him is a strike.
Breaking pitch for strike 1. Breaking pitch for a strike.
Derek Miramontes in the ball game now for Illinois Chicago. Has done a very nice job. Third inning was his first frame of work. He has allowed a run on a solo homer by Chris Wallace, but other than that, pretty well unscathed. And he's kind of locked into a duel here with the Cougar starter, Brian Tully. Now, Tully has been terrific over the last 3 innings.
Really has worked through, made some adjustments. Miramontes looked like pulled the string a little bit, dropped a little sidearm action. Just a little different delivery.
We saw 11 combined runs through the first 2 innings of this game, just 1 since.
Miramontes, more of an off-speed pitcher than the starter, Kolstad.
3-2 pitch, and coming up is a big offering, because you don't want to put Pounds on board with the 2 hottest hitting Cougars of them all coming up next. Cesario and Lorman both have had excellent regionals. Got him looking. Big strikeout by Derek Miramontes.
A lot of confidence in your breaking pitch there. Full count. Have the confidence, throw that breaking pitch for a strike. Get the strikeout looking. Miramontes, steady diet of breaking pitches and off speed. Keep these Cougar batters guessing there.
Now Cesario, 7 out of 11.
Another breaking pitch for a strike.
Cesario, 7 base hits and 11 at-bats in this NCAA regional. 3 doubles, a home run, 4 RBIs. The count continues on him.
Miramontes wants to keep that breaking pitch down low in the zone. You don't want to hang anything to this left-handed batter.
Came up empty. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good change up right there.
I think if the Cougs win here, Cesario is a lock for the all-tournament squad.
I would think so.
Well, even without a victory,
yeah.
Probably going to put him on it. Hit that one hard, but it's right at the first baseman, Schaefer. 2 are down.
Top hand. Pitch a little bit up, but out in front. Change up again, and just line drive. First baseman Schaefer to the glove side, and 2 away.
Now it's Lorman, who is 6 for 11 in the 2.5 games that the Cougars have played here in College Station. A single and an RBI in the first inning. Grounded out to shortstop in the third. Hit another ground ball. Nice play by Gannick. Makes the throw. Miramontes continues to do good work for UIC on the hill. We're going to the bottom of the 5th, and the Cougars lead 7-5. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
No matter which road you choose, the Dodge Lifetime Powertrain Warranty has you covered. It's the best warranty in the business, and it comes standard on nearly all Dodge vehicles. No other company.
The Houston Cougars and the Illinois Chicago Flames trying to stave off elimination on this Sunday in the College Station Regional. Right now, U of H getting the best of it, 7-5. Top of the order for UIC here in the bottom of the 5th, and they need to get something going. Brian Tully, the Cougar starter, has sat down the last 9 Flames to come to the plate. And now we've got Steve McQuiggan, followed by Ty Rubio and Jake Carr. And this is who you want. I mean, this is just like starting the ball game. You got the top of the order up.
Started off with the strike there, breaking pitch. Tully seems to be really in a rhythm out there on the mound, and that's just what Rainer Noble needed in this ball game. You don't want to go into 3 and 4 different pitchers in this ball game trying to fight your way all the way back through this regional bracket.
Tully has relaxed and given U of H a very strong outing thus far. Still a long way to go in this one. The Cougs with a 2-run advantage. McQuiggan with a 2-2 count on him now. He singled and scored a run in the first. Sacrifice fly and an RBI in the second.
entered today's play hitting .372. Good leadoff man.
That RBI got him to the number 40 mark in the 2008 season.
This ball just missed the outside corner. Full count.
Can he be the lead runner aboard? Yes, sir. Drew a full count walk. McCugan gets on, and Ty Rubio follows him.
Tully went full count, went to breaking pitch, but just left it up a little too high in the zone for ball 4. The lead runner aboard here for the Flames in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Third walk of the day issued by Brian Tully, but only his first free pass allowed since the second. Rubio 3 for 5 in the regional. He has scored a run today. That came after he walked in the first inning. He's also flown out.
A little more activity in the Cougar bullpen. The left-hander getting loose. With the 2-run lead, you don't want to let that evaporate here on this hot Sunday afternoon.
Talked about the weather this weekend, and would probably affect Illinois Chicago more than the other 3 teams in this regional field.
Nice bunt.
But right where you want it, and just getting Rubio up the line on a well-executed play from the first baseman Cesario over to the pitcher Tully. But moving McQuiggan to second base.
Tully just about a half a step ahead of Rubio. Good job by the right-hander bouncing off the mound, getting the little underhanded toss from Cesario. Half step beats Rubio down the line, but sacrifice in order is moving a runner into scoring position with 1 away. And the 3 and 4 hole batters coming up for the Flames.
Jake Carr, 3 for 10 this weekend. Looks at a strike. If you want to look at Tully's turnaround, over the first 2 innings, he allowed 5 runs and 4 hits. He has not allowed a hit or a run since. That carried him just far enough away from the catcher Wallace for McQuiggan to get to third base.
Would imagine wild pitch. Wallace trying to bury it there. Let's see here on the replay, just breaking pitch. Oh, fastball, I'm sorry, down low in the dirt. We'll wait for the call.
Meanwhile, the count goes to 1-2 on Jake Carr.
It indeed was a wild pitch.
So Carr needs contact.
Exactly, with 1 away and a runner at third, the infield is back. You're wanting to put the ball in play to get that run home.
Swinging foul ball.
Nice breaking pitch there by Tully. Back in the day for the Cougars, you have Bill Yeoman as football coach and Guy V. Lewis. Roland Walton as baseball and Dr. Bragg Stockton. Some quality individuals, some colorful individuals.
The heyday for U of H. There's a base knock for Carr. It'll get him an RBI. And the Flames right back within a run.
Good piece of batting there by Carr. He fought off a good breaking pitch, and now he gets fastball right over the plate, pulls it in the hole between short and third for an RBI single. It's One-run ball game and one away here in the bottom of the fifth. Runner at first base.
First hit and first run allowed by Tully since the second. Still got a lot of work to do in this frame because he's got Brett Schaefer at the plate. There's your look at the Cougar bullpen and some of the left-handed action in it. Runner is going on this pitch. And that's a stolen base by Jake Carr. He's in scoring position for a man that already has 61 RBIs this season.
Good jump there by Carr getting that stolen base.
Schaefer, a ground out that got him an RBI in the first inning, and he lined out with a hard hit ball in the third. Probably the most dangerous Flame hitter to face. And if Tully wants to keep that U of H lead intact, he's going to have to work through him. Although first base is occupied, or is unoccupied. Somewhat of a place to put Schaefer. Although then you'd have two aboard with one out.
Carr taking care of his cleats there at second base. Tully, we mentioned this only his third start of the year. His longest outing on the mound has been 6 innings against Memphis, and that was back in 2007, May 13th, 2007. So maybe reaching that point. Cougar coaching staff knowing that, having activity in the bullpen.
Thus far, 4 1/3. That's the distance Tully has worked in this one. Hit foul. So Tully looks in at Schaefer, who leads UIC in just about every important offensive category. Average home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage, on-base percentage. And they need him to come through right here. If he can, it would possibly tie the ball game. That'll get through. The decision on whether to send the runner is made, and they'll hold him up at third base.
Ramsey, right fielder for U of H, coming in strong. Really, pitch handcuffed him. Schaefer went with it, drove it out in the right field, but Ramsey comes up and has the ball even before Carr reaches third base. So a wise move there by third base coach. Now we have runners at first and third. Looks like we may be making a move here.
We will have a pitching change when we come back. UIC is threatening, but the Cougars do lead 7-6. We are back in a moment. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
The best of the Big 12 Conference is on Big 12 Showcase. Only Big 12 Showcase takes you on location every week for unparalleled coverage of all the athletic programs from across the conference. From the latest news and highlights to exclusive features and interviews, no one is more dedicated to the Big 12 than FSN. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Big 12 Showcase brings you year-round coverage you won't get anywhere else. Big 12 Showcase, Fridays and Saturdays on FSN Southwest.
Tonight on The Final Score, presented by DirecTV. Ken Griffey Jr. looks to join the elite ranks of the 600 Home Run Club as Junior's Reds host the Atlanta Braves. Plus, the surging Chicago Cubs try to make it 7 straight wins. They take on the defending National League champs at Wrigley Field. And a pair of division leaders square off at Tropicana Field. The White Sox visit the Rays. For all the day's highlights in 30 minutes, keep it right here. It's The Final Score.
University of Houston has made a pitching change, and they will go with Donnie Joseph, a left-hander, and Alan Cannon has the line on our new Cougar hurler.
Joseph, this will be his 24th appearance. He's made 11 starts through the year, 2-1 record, 5.40 ERA, 53 1/3 innings pitched, 62 hits, 36 runs, 32 of them earned, 29 walks, and 38 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .287 against the left-hander, sophomore from Buda, Texas. Hayes High School there.
Well, his task is to keep the U of H lead intact, although Illinois Chicago has runners at the corners with one out. Brian Tully has been lifted from the game, although don't close his book yet. He's responsible for the runners. And they are Jake Carr at third base. And Brett Schaefer at first.
And if you're scoring at home, Tully will remain in the ball game as your DH, but is lifted from the mound.
First man that Donnie Joseph faces is Kevin Coddington.
Fastball misses up and away. Ball one.
And the 1-0. It's high.
The relief appearance, you want to come in and pound that strike zone. Do not want to add any further runners and like to retire the batter without allowing that run to come in from third base and tie this ball game.
2-0 pitch. Missed, and it's 3-0. U of H shortstop Blake Kelso is shaded toward the bag at second, hoping for a double play ball. The second baseman Ryan Lomard has got a little bit more distance between him and the bag. Now actually with this offering, he started to shade over towards the bag as well.
Looking for that double play ground ball to get out of the inning and maintain that one-run lead. But ball four and the bases are juiced. Still have the double play in order. Your middle infield will play back in double play depth, looking for that ground ball up the middle. As third baseman and first baseman will play even with the bag, so any ball hit to them, in all likelihood, the ball's going to tell you where to go. Whether you go home to get the runner, try to go home to first double play, or such as a ground ball to the left of the third baseman, he may go to second base trying to get the double play in that manner.
After that 4-pitch walk issued by Joseph, first hitter he faced, more action immediately in the U of H bullpen. Here's Rafael Garcia. Big at bat for him. Bases loaded, one down. UIC trails by a run. Bottom of number 5 is what we play in. This is an elimination game. The loser calls their season to an end.
Good strong fastball right there by Joseph. Right-hander getting loose there in the bullpen. Number 11, Chris Wright, junior right-hander from Houston, Langham Creek High School. Tell you, we mentioned Dallas Baptist. They had a lot of Metroplex ball players on their roster. That double play ball.
4-6-3, and they turn away the Flames. They had them loaded, but the double play ball ends the inning, although UIC does get one run across, and they're a little closer. It's 7-6, U of H in the lead. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
The game is on. Learn to play the horses and play for free. TVGFree.net. Learn from horse racing experts.
Let me help you pick a winner.
Challenge the leaderboard and compete to win valuable prizes every day. Go to TVGFree.net right now.
And they're off.
Get in the game. It's fun. It's free.
One final surge.
Pick the winner.
They're coming down to the finish.
Learn from the pros. Play to win. TVGFree.net.
In February 2009, TV stations will broadcast exclusively in digital. Every TV that's hooked up to cable will still work just fine. If you get TV through an antenna, you can still keep your sets working. Just call 888-DTV-2009 to learn about a government coupon program for converter boxes. or visit dtvtransition.org.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, America, you have spoken. And we've put it on the air. It's Best Damn's Top 50 Fan Bloopers. And Friday, special guest host, Super Bowl champion Michael Strahan. Has the Stray Train finally pulled into the station for good, or will he be back to defend his Super Bowl crown? This week at 11.
We've got a good one here on the campus of Texas A&M at Olson Field. It's 7-6. Houston leads Illinois Chicago with both teams' season hanging in the balance. Sixth inning is what we go to, and for the Cougars, designated the visiting team in this game, it is 6, 7, and 8. Zach Presley, Brian Tully, and Chris Wallace. Cougars got out to a 6-2 lead after the top of the second. 4 of the last 5 runs in this game have been scored by the Flames. UIC wanted more in that last inning, the bottom of the 5th, but a double play with the bases loaded didn't allow it.
Interesting line. Houston 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They have left 1 runner on base, and the Flames 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and with those 2 runners left on base, they've left 3 on during this game.
A 2-1 count to the U of H center fielder, who's gone 0 for 2 today. Robbed of a hit his last time up. Diving catch by Steve McQuiggan in center field. He's hit one right back at him, and he's not going to be able to get to that. Laced into center. Base hit, Zach Presley.
Nice piece of hitting there by Presley, just going back up the middle. See here on replay, fastball outer part of the plate, and just drives it back up the middle. Didn't try to do too much with it. So many times you get up there and you have in your mind you really want to jerk the ball and you may pull off of it. So if you stay on top, you just drive that straight back up the middle, the base hit. The 227 coming by.
Loudest roar we've had all day. Sparse crowd with the host Texas A&M not playing, and that pickoff attempt got away from the first baseman, Brett Schaefer. Down to second goes Presley.
See how the error, I believe they'll be on the first baseman, but we'll wait to see. E3 is the call. Now the runner is in scoring position.
And when you get in those late innings, you're going to start to do whatever you can to get a run. Tully. One hop. Blocked by the third baseman, Ganick, but he couldn't find it and therefore couldn't make the throw. E5.
E5. See here, breaking pitch. He pulls it, but may have glanced up to see where the runner at second base was, and when he did not come up with the ball cleanly. So many times, if you field it cleanly, you want to look the runner back at second base before throwing over, but now runners at first and second, nobody out. See how Houston's squaring around.
Wallace is showing bunt. His last time up, he hit one over the center field wall, but right now they want to get a couple of runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs. If he could complete the sacrifice, that would be the situation.
Ideal situation here, bunting-wise, you want to place it down the third base line, making the third baseman make the play so that the 2 runners advance. Sometimes we'll see how UIC plays it. First baseman crashes hard. A lot of times you may be able to get the runner out at third base. We'll see how they play it. First baseman's actually playing behind the runner at first, which is a little surprising.
He got it at the third baseman. Barehanding and making the play is Ganick. But the sacrifice is successful. Runners at second and third with one out.
Good fundamental baseball right there. Bunting it hard enough away from the pitcher so the third baseman had to make the play. His only play is the first base to record it out. Now the infield be in. Try to cut the runner at the plate.
Caleb Ramsey, the hitter. We were errorless in this game until this inning, 2 committed by UIC. Ramsey flew out his last time up. Fly ball to the outfield deep enough. Would work here. It would give the Cougars their 2-run advantage back. Presley runs at third base. Tully at second. And Ramsey, your hitter, with an 0-1 count. Stayed high and outside, 1-1.
Breaking pitch, staying up and away. With that infield end, if you can, any ground ball may get through because the infield is in. If you don't have the misfortune of hitting it right at the infielders. Everyone right up on the base paths. First baseman, second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman.
1-1 to Ramsey. Swinging into center field. Nice catch made by McQuiggan. However, the run will score, and it's 8-6 Cougars. Second time today, McQuiggan has made an excellent defensive play in center. This one Ramsey gets a sacrifice out of.
Nice diving grab, and McQuiggan gets up, gets the ball back in. But good piece of base running. The youngsters at home had Presley there at third base, waiting until the catch was made. That way tagging up and racing home. Sacrifice fly RBI is in order. That run will be unearned. But nonetheless, it extends the lead 8-6.
The other thing for the youngsters, you notice how Brian Tully stayed put at second base. Never make the third out at third base.
Exactly. Do not make the first or third out at third base. Now with 2 away and Tully at second, in all likelihood, any ground ball single, he's going to be sent home.
It's the top of the order with Blake Kelso. Had a rough start to today, striking out twice. But his last at bat came around and got a base hit. He's 1 for 3. Houston has pushed their advantage back out to 2 runs.
Double barrel action down in the Flame bullpen, a right-hander and a left-hander. The left-hander, I believe, is 24, Don Phillips. And the right-hander not quite able to make out. I believe it may be Adam Worthington, number 21, the right-hander.
2-1 offering to Kelso with a strike. 2-2. There's that action.
2-2.
Down the left field line, the Flames bullpen.
2-2, 2 outs.
Deuce is wild.
Runner on second. Getting a good lead.
Ground ball. Gannick will have to make the play. Bobbled it. And he's safe at first base. That will likely be the 3rd error of the inning. 2 of them on Gannick, and that's the case. E5, and it puts runners at the corners.
And what it does as well, now with runners at the corners, good speed with Kelso at first base. And Tully at third puts the pressure on the Flame defense. May have a little first and third offensive strategy here by the Cougars, try to steal another run.
Jake Stewart, 1 for 3 Grounded into a double play his last time up. Got this one to go back up the middle. That's a costly error a moment ago because another run is now on the board for the Houston Cougars. 9-6.
In this inning, now 2 runs have crossed, and both of them are of the unearned variety. A good piece of hitting there by Stewart, just going right back up the middle.
Well, if you're Miramontes, you've seen 3 errors this inning by your defense, but you still have work to do. You got to get out of this inning. 9-6 is still a very manageable baseball game. Brian Pounds hit a big 3-run homer in the second inning. He struck out looking his last time up. That was the only time he's faced Miramontes. Now gets a look at him for the second time. He is the 7th man to the plate this inning for Houston.
Little fan couldn't be more than 2 or 3 years old. Dad gave him the baseball. He decided to throw it back on the field.
I'm sure there's a lesson going on now.
There you go. The dad said,
Speaking of things youngsters shouldn't do, not only shouldn't you make the third out at third base, if you've got a souvenir, you hang on to it.
Yeah, when Dad grabs the foul ball in the stands and he gives it to you, you hang on to it there.
The 0-2. Skied it to center field. McQuiggan has it. Houston gets 2 runs with help from 3 errors by Illinois Chicago in that frame. We're going to the bottom of the 6th, and it's 9-6 in favor of U of H. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
Coming up this week on your Toyota Truck Outdoors Report, we'll show you how to catch a lot of fish and have fun up in the state of Oklahoma. Join us this week.
The Toyota Truck Outdoors Report, Thursday on FSN Southwest. Our spotlight shines on the best and brightest high school athletes and coaches the state of Texas has to offer. Get the latest highlights and exclusive features from across the state every week. High School Spotlight, Sundays and Mondays on FSN Southwest.
One of the most devastating humanitarian crises is happening right now. The cyclone that hit Myanmar has left tens of thousands dead and millions at risk. UNICEF has been in Myanmar since 1950 and is already on the ground providing life-saving water and emergency supplies, doing whatever it takes to save lives. Help UNICEF reach every child in Myanmar. Please take a moment and go to unicefusa.org.
The Big 12 online store is the fast and easy way to get all of your officially licensed Big 12 championship merchandise and team apparel. With a huge inventory of top brands, great customer service, and $4.99 shipping on every order, the Big 12 online store will get you ready for the big game. Go to the Big 12 online store today to get t-shirts, jerseys, hats, polos, accessories, and more. The Big 12 online store, where Big 12 fans get everything they need.
Houston Cougars have a 9-6 lead over the Illinois Chicago Flames in the bottom of number 6 elimination game. Winner of this one plays the Texas A&M Aggies tonight, and they would have to beat A&M twice. If the Aggies win tonight, this regional comes to an end. If either the Flames or the Cougars beat A&M tonight, we'll come back Monday to decide the champion.
Fox Sports Net.
Yes, sir.
Joseph, his longest outing of his career, 6 innings against UT San Antonio back in 2007.
And he faces Ryan Schweikert right here. It's the bottom of the order for the Flames. Schweikert flew out to center in his last at bat and was robbed of a base hit. He has scored a run. That came back in the second. One-two count to him. Swung through it and missed.
Good location on the left-hander. That left-on-left matchup. See the mitt down low. Breaking pitch out of the strike zone. Couldn't lay off of it. And a strikeout is registered.
Just the second one of the day by Cougar pitching. Only one for Brian Tully today, and he's out of the game. And now you've got Donnie Joseph, and one for him now.